something happens to break. So I'm a bit late. Well, I've been getting a few comments that I have. Yeah, some of them a little bit offensive. Some of them are not. Some of them I think, oh, hang on, is it really an insult? Because I'm thinking to myself regarding, well, am I a communist? I would say not. Am I a capitalist? Verging on. Am I a Marxist? Possibly. A socialist? Possibly. Is it really an insult? I don't think so. Could this current divide in society that is emphasised through, or let me just get stuff. I'm a bit rushed in here. Sorry about this. There you go. There you go. Yeah. No, right? We live in a capitalist society. And what is capital? Capital is wealth in the form of capital, as in stuff. Like, me house is capital. But this capital is no good to anyone else but me, because I own it. It's my house. It's got no mortgage. Now, don't get me wrong, I've had mortgages. Don't want them again. No. So I'm debt-free. So I'm quite lucky like that. But the thing is, you see, those of you who have got debt, whether it be your car, whether it be your house or anything like that, that's capital not owned by you, it's owned by your lender. And often the lender's underwritten by other people, capitalists, people who want to make money out of money that they've given you. Just like the debt, like the national debt, for instance. It's money that a country has I've applied for, asked for through the federal bank system, or the Bank of England, what have you. Borrow more money so you can spend more money. Well, somebody owns that debt, and like for instance, the United States, well, China owns about 800 billion in debt, and they're earning on that. They make money on that. It makes more sense for them to lend the money to countries and make money back. It's a fairly safe concern. So it would stand to reason that China wouldn't want to rock the boat too much in some ways. But yeah, why would you want all your money tied up in property that you don't really own? It's like the never, you know. You constantly paying into it, will be the interest you're paying, and keeps accruing, and the debt is becoming, in some cases, larger. If I got myself a pension scheme, and you end up losing money on it because the cost of having the pension scheme ends up being more than what you're actually putting into it. If you put a modest amount in, and okay, it swings around about, it does that over a period of time. I know that, I get that, but still, these are investments that are made on the basis of capital. So something I think about this stuff, and I think to myself, well, really, does it actually work? Now, I would say I'm a bit of, I've got a little bit of capital here and there, not much at all. I can't get to it, so I can't do much with it, to be fair. But it's not until someone dies anyway. But it's in legacies. It's in will. Someone's living there until we get a chance to sell up. That's pretty much what's happened to us in the past as well. The thing is, though, actually the volume high. Let me just check that, because someone mentioned this the other day. But money's only good if you can access it, isn't it? But if you're talking about long-term investments, you can't always access it. So let me just get on to my thing, just so I see the chat as well. And am I loud enough? Can anyone hear me? Can you hear me all right? They stink, they drink, they wink, they think. I don't know about think. Oh, dear. Oh, we're here. Oh, Christ, got an advert. Oh, wait a minute, that's gone. Good. Am I loud enough? Let's have a look. Probably not. Looking at that. All right, how can I make this louder? It's new microphones. I don't really know. Right. Is that no? That's record. That's noise reduction. So it's not on that bit. Oh, blimey! I just got to speak up. No, that's what I'll do. Just speak up. So there you go. So anyway, talk a little bit about the fact that I keep getting these criticisms, which is quite funny. in some ways. Because I think to myself, well, is that really an insult? It's not really, is it? Talk about Marxism and stuff like that. Is that really an insult? When you think about what Marxism actually is. Oh Christ, think though. It's like it's almost like like a philosophy, like an economic philosophy, sort of social, economic, and political philosophy. And it kind of analyzes how the effects of uneven distribution of wealth and privileges and what have you into society, and it's and how like the ruling classes, how they affect us laymen, us lemons, those who the working class, how they affect us. It's trying to create a balance. Why is that so bad? If Bernie Sanders in the United States brings up about, we need hello Sebastian, what do you want, my boy? We need a free health service for all, like our NHS, which is struggling, but for different reasons, because of stupid governance in the UK. But it's still a brilliant system. It really is. And healthcare is brilliant. It is. It's just how long it takes to get treated these days. But once you get in the door, you can't really knock it. I don't think so. All healthcares make mistakes, don't they? But on the whole, I think it's a pretty good darn system. And the people working there are so overstretched. Now you think of like for instance, France has got its healthcare system, and it's sort of like a hybrid system between what we got in the United Kingdom and what we have in France. I'm in France, you see, and it's partially insurance funded and partially, or 2/3 of it is funded by the state, hence by taxpayers' money. But they think of it as a socialist country, but it's a socialist capitalist country. It's France, it's still a capitalist country, but it has socialist tendencies. And there's this confusion, isn't there, between socialism and communism. But if a socialist feels that it's socialism's failed them, they might turn to communism, but they're not the same thing. It feels to me that a lot of these people who throw these sort of like flippant comments out really don't understand what this stuff is themselves. I wouldn't have done years ago, because I've been sort of just read a lot about it these days. But it's years ago, I just get on with my work, like any old layman, and a bit like the MAGA and the sort of like the Reform Party type people, and the Brexiters. They didn't have a clue what they were voting for. They don't know. We know what we're voting for. It's like this massive insult. I'm just going to have to let the dog out. Right, I'll take you with me. Who let the dogs out? Yes, you're coming with me to let the dog out. I think that's what he wants. There he is. You sorry, Sebastian. Or was it? Oh, or am I mistaken? You outside? No? I think it's just treats, actually. He's just looking at me. Oh, what a treat. Oh, dear. Dogs, eh? They will walk outside in a minute, I bet you. It's just blinking treats. He knows I've got a pot of treats. Oh, dear me. You can wait, boy. You can wait. If you want treats, you're going to have to wait. Oh, squeezing in. Oh, I'm back. Sorry about that. Oh, it's the pleasures of having dogs. I've only got 2. I had 3. Lost my little Wally. Really, 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 really miss him, I'll tell you. Big time. My little Wally dog. So, anyway, let's have a look in the chat. Hello, Susan DeWitt. Evening all. And Tendus Nye. Hello, Tendus Nye. Great title for a stream. Oh, thank you. And Tom Deripa. Brody, they can't give you a definition for any word you ask them. I know. And I've done that. Can you explain to me what woke means? I usually do it in quite an innocent tone, because I don't know. Please explain. And you never either get an answer, or you just get a load of waffle. And I'm quite good at waffle, actually. But people who know me will know that, especially regulars to the channel. But it's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. You go through life like this, and expecting to maybe do well in your life, and you got these sort of silly people and even these what they think is an insult, and really it's not really an insult. It's not. You know, end of the day, you think about the NHS system, which it treats people. They haven't got to worry about, I'm going to lose my house. I either have to lose my house or I die. They don't get that you don't get it in France either. And you don't get that in the United Kingdom with the NHS, the healthcare system that works. You get treated. You get treated no matter what. France is especially good, I have to admit. I live in France and I can really vouch for it. It is really good. Fast. You know, you go in there for blood test, you can get your results the same day. And you get to keep everything the same with x-rays, the same with everything, you know, even your, you know, the camera up the back, all that sort of stuff. You get all that. Yeah, little people. No, you don't get that. Okay. I digress. Anyway, so the thing is these are systems that work. But in the United States, it's story after story of people. It's one of the biggest causes, the privatized health system you've got in the United States, of people going into bankruptcy and losing their homes. That's just immoral. Oh yes, you're alive now. Okay, just be grateful for that. But we'll have your house. You'll be on the streets. You'll die of hypothermia instead. Do you understand the mental? And for oh crikey, it's nuts. And you get these people trying to tell us how bad it is having the so-called, they're socialists. Oh, it's so terrible, they're socialists or communists, Marxists. They're woke. Yeah, but they're alive. And they're not necessarily bankrupt. This is madness. Now, the capitalist system in the West is lost anyway. We've lost. We've already lost. We've lost to China. If anyone thinks that we're going to pull this around, and actually be the empire once again, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen because we've actually kept our eye off the ball for a very long time. This capitalist system has kept its eye off the ball for a very long time. We've allowed what you could say communist states to invest heavily in capitalist societies, such as China. And, I know Russia's supposed to be a democracy, but isn't really, is it? China's more hybrid as well. It's not really. I know they call themselves the Chinese Communist Party, the People's Republic of China. And but they're not really a proper communist country. So it's a hybrid as well. Just like France is a hybrid of a socialist system. And you could argue the United Kingdom is as well, if you think about it like that. We've got a healthcare system that's socialist. When I think about times when I regard when I was growing up as a kid and what have you, didn't think of anything like this. It didn't mean anything to you, did it? None of this stuff is taught you in schools. How society works and how the differences between, so you can make a conscious decision. No, they'll try and teach you about religion. Especially when you got church schools like mine was. They wasted their time with me, I'll tell you. Sunday school. Oh my God. I'll tell you what, if I wasn't bad enough when I get on our building sites, I was the worst. I'll tell you. I was the worst. Crikey. I wouldn't do half the things that now what I did back then. I think, crikey, that was really bad. I shouldn't have done that. Just so it was back then, it's like these days, I'll tell you one of the things that really bugs me a little bit is that when they get jumped on when they're on like a tweet or something never written or said like 20 years ago or 10 years ago or something like that. And I think it's like, really? People, they're educating themselves all the time, and things that weren't quite as bad back then, things that were said that weren't quite as bad back then, they were bad, but not that, they weren't seen as being so bad. And these days, it's just, it's very, very, oh no, cool, you can't say that, I can't do that. Which, regarding political correctness, I'm not that happy with the way the route that we're taking on that. I think it's all a bit much. And if you don't know me, I'm a bit of a piss taker. So it's like, it's, I'm always worried that I've got to bite my tongue all the while. I might say the wrong thing because I blurt. So I'm a bit of a societal misfit. But it's, I think that, I think it's also hampered comedy. I think a lot of the comedy these days is so lame, and it's not. I love the old silly stuff, I love the old Benny Hill and I say the old greats, But these days, oh my God, could you imagine that? Especially if you get if anyone knows Benny Hill, you get the last scene of him and all the girls are chasing them up with just bras on and the bikinis and stuff like that. It's so, don't be wrong, it's not right, especially this day and age, but it's just the way and the mannerism, the way he's running about and stuff, like being chased by these girls because he's been a naughty boy. And it's just funny. It's just squitty. The Carry On films and all that sort of stuff. They're all demonised these days. Little Britain demonised these days. Can't say that. Can't do. I think it's all about context. It's all depends about some malice. I needed balance. I think that's part of the problem back then. There wasn't any balance. It was very misogynistic. When I was growing up, it really was. When you get this is like. For me, it's all a bit of a misunderstanding about what stuff. You can't be a purist about everything. I was saying about hybrid economic systems. How can you be a purist about everything? I'm a bit. I would say I believe in the sense of a capitalist system, or where you have an economic system based on trade and stuff like that. They're all commodities. They're all things that have been sold and moved on. But capitalists generally would just buy something, just sit on it and wait. And that's we've got landlords and stuff. And when apparently we don't like us lefties don't like landlords. I actually got a huge problem with landlords. I used to work for a lot of landlords, so I used to do a lot of maintenance works. You say my company did, and it's whether it be the grounds maintenance or property maintenance, a hole in the roof or something like that, or plumbing or electric stuff like that. We used to organise and get it all sorted. We were doing all right. We were doing pretty well until that last recession. Yeah, but it's I'm not going to say it's all landlords. Obviously, there's real rogues out there, and there's a lot of rogue landlords, and a lot of landlords who don't really know what's going on with their properties. They don't really care because they put it in the hands of a management company. But those landlords out there who actually have to go out there and do the work themselves, I always found, the ones I worked with, I always found they were fairly conscientious. Now, some of the landlords I worked with actually worked with, they provided social housing. So they were renting to people that nobody else would rent to. Even the councils would say, "Ooh," if you know what I mean. And I have seen some states, I mean some horrendous properties that have been vacated by tenants that, quite frankly, are unscrupulous. Now, I know what you want, Sebastian. Now, my Sebastian dog, ever since I lost my Wally, has been trying to sit on my lap. Whenever I sit here, the missus will be sitting over there, and he might be, doing a bit of work, what have you. My dog here, my little Sebastian's got his head on my knee at the moment. I know you can't see it, but he wants a cuddle. He does. He wants a cuddle. He's a real soppy sod. He is. And he gets away with murder. So yeah, it's I don't know. I think it's an issue. And in fact, people are so ill-informed, uneducated on what is capitalism, what is socialism, socialism or capitalism or communism or Marxism or I know that being woke is not really what he left this or whatever. That's just something else they like to throw at us, But even so, woke being woke has been wake of social environment that just basically treating people decently, decency. So, Sebastian, this is really. I'll tell you what. I'm just going to do. I'm just going to have to give my dog a little bit of a cuddle. So I'm just going to move you over there. Come here, boy. Do you want to come and say hello? Come on, then. This is literally what he wants. He wants to sit on my lap like this. All right. Do you want the microphone, Sebastian? Yeah. What do you say? You are a soppy thing. Look at this. You're not the microphone, are you? There. How's that? Huh? I think I'm comfortable. Huh? Now this little boy here, he's lots of my Wally dog here. a heart problem, and he's just getting fits, but he's very quickly started taking a downturn. This little boy here has got a heart problem as well. He's got enlarged heart, and you boy. You're on the same medication, weren't you? This is Sebastian, by the way. They're all rescues, our dogs are. You happy now? Is that what you wanted? Oh, for God's sake. Okay, let me just bring this over here, just so I can see the chat. I know, I love you too. I know. Oh, down we come. Gingers, hello there. Gingers has met Sebastian. Sebastian's turned into a real soppy thing, aren't you? Yes, yeah, I know. Yes, Orwell was writing about Stalinist Russia. Oh, George Orwell, 1984. Was that 84? 84. Oh, crikey, I'm getting losing the plot now. Oh, think about farmers and losing their... hey, what are you doing? Oh, crikey. This is really disconcerting. So, let me come. I'm just trying to get into the chat here. Just bear with us. It's not that easy, and I've got a dog on me. Do you want to get down? No. You had enough now? Or you just trying to get comfortable? Thank you very much. How's that? Is that better? All right. Oh, that's better. I can see the chat now. Sorry about that. Just it's a little bit awkward when you've got a big white fluffy dog sitting on your lap, wiggling like you have. He is a cootie. Yeah, the Sebastian's. I just caught a glimpse of the camera. Yes, Sebastian. Okay, you're happy there. He's very regal, isn't he? The star of the show. Yeah, he's not helping, I'll tell you. You were the matter with what's baby. Me loves body every. Okay. Right. There we go. What have I missed? Yeah. I don't know. Orwell. You talk about people like Jewish guy, French Jewish guy. He's Richard Wolff. He's somebody he talks a lot about this. Noam Chomsky, brilliant. Obviously Bernie Sanders. I'm a fan of Bernie Sanders. I think he talks so much sense. Oh, crikey, wouldn't have things been different? Where's his head gone? His head fell off. Oh, that's back. Wouldn't have things been different in the United States if Bernie Sanders was the president? Can you imagine it, Sebastian? Yeah. I can't work like this. I really can't work like this. This face. Oh, boy, Gideon. I'm trying to put on a show here, Sebastian. You're stealing it from me. My sidekick. He's stealing. Oh, I know. I love you too. Yeah. Okay. Where are we? Crikey. I think Sebastian's a really good ventriloquist. Oh dear. Love me some Bernie. Bernie Sanders was amazing. And Bernie Sanders had an interview with Sophie, anyway, from Sky News. And I think she actually loved him. I think he was brilliant. He was so good. And he's trying to demonstrate that, he's basically saying, do not lose your healthcare system. Do not lose the NHS. Protect it with all your might. Unfortunately, those who the powers to be and what have you, believe so heavily in the capitalist systems because they're the ones with the capital. They're the ones who are bleeding us all dry. Those so-called people at the top. I hate that term, at the top. They're not really at the top. They're the bottom feeders, aren't they? Really? Let's be honest. They're scum. They're sucking us all dry and not sharing the wealth. Numbers coming back down again. So not spending it. They sit on it. You're not going to tell me people like Elon Musk with 350 odd billion in the bank. Well, you're not going to try and tell me that he distributes that wealth. He doesn't. Now, I had somebody in a comment regarding you need to go down. You're wiggling too much. Oh God, you're covering me in fur. Oh God. He's molten. He needs his winter coat. Oh dear. There we go. Let's bring you a bit close. All right, let me, one more treat. All right, then you must let Daddy. You got to let Daddy get on. All right. He is lovely. Maybe later. All right. There you go. And I've got Pandora over there as well. There you go, girl. Smashed, nicked it before she could get. There you go. Only little. Oh. Whew. You're going to lay down there, boy. Go and lay down. Go lay down or go annoy mummy. Oh my God, there's fur everywhere. I am literally peppered. Oh. Tell them about rabbits. Oh. Hello from Paris. Love the Hendrix collection. Oh, I've got a few Hendrix around here. Oh, there's a couple behind me. Sophie Ridge. That's it. Sophie Ridge from Sky News. That's it. She was. I don't know if you saw that interview. Bernie Sanders. He's just brilliant, and not with it. He's a fortune teller as well. You know, well, he tells the future anyway. So, but pretty much what he said about 10 years ago has come true. Now you think about this, right? If you look at, like, for instance, the growth in the United Kingdom, the growth in China, and the growth in the United States. Now, China's growth is like 4 times that of the United States, while the it's literally growing at some crazy rate, about 7 to 8%. The United States is staying stagnant at the moment, and same with the United Kingdom. So, needless to say, we've allowed this. We don't control it, but yeah, it's been going on for decades. You know, China's growth has got, regarding the fact they've got cheap labour and what have you. And any economists will tell you when they were doing their university or all their degrees and what have you, and they'll be told, well, you go where the wages are cheap, where the wages are low. You go where the wages are low, and then you'll make your money. And China welcomed all these people with open arms. Come and work here. Come and see what they do. Trade with us. They wanted it. Now, China's wages have actually gone up by 8 times over the decades. They get paid more now than they did back then. Back then it was for the price of a bowl of rice, wasn't it? And these days it's a little bit different. They've got more of those. There's more people working now with better wages. They're getting paid more, unlike those in India. India is just like, it's horrendous. You've still got people who have been footbound and whatever. Your kids and have been footbound in India. It's just because, especially girls normally, because it's the only way they're going to make money. You're a bit of an ugly kid, or bind your feet instead. You go begging. It's what? So they get all deformed and stuff. So they get their whole sympathy vote. It's horrendous. Such a divide. It's always about the rich. It's a capitalist system again. And even though in China they haven't really isn't a capitalist system, it's sort of a hybrid, isn't it? It's a communist system they've got. But if you think about what's the definition of communism? Let's have a look. Just is it the same as mine? That'd be helpful to know, wouldn't it? Actually, maybe I should check that before I start blurting. Yes. Communism is a type of government as well as an economic system, a way of creating and sharing wealth. True communism. They haven't really got that in China, because China's communism it's a socialist market economy, I believe, an SME, not small medium enterprise, no. And it's a system, and a model of economic development, which is obviously employed by the PRC, the People's Republic of China, and the system that was a market economy of autonomous public ownership, and so it's not capital ownership, public ownership, but there's still greed involved. But the thing is, you're talking about a country that can plan. Not for the next 4 or 5 years. They plan for like the next 100 odd years. They know what their goals are. Long-term goals. Oh, nice one. Thank you. If I was Bernie, Oh, get on that. Oh, come back. If I was Bernie, thanks Rex Text for super chat there. Thank you. If I was Bernie, I'd tell America to go to heck. I'm done. I tried for 40 odd years, and you won't listen. I'm going home and enjoying my final years. The thing is, people like Bernie are dedicated. People they believe deeply in what their teachings are. The same with people like I want to say so. I think Norm Chomsky. Yes, I would say so. I'd say Richard Wolff. I think he likes being popular. Richard Wolff. Although he talks a hell of a lot of sense. But Bernie's you get a holiday, mate. Go on holiday. Go home. Go on holiday. Have a nice time, Bernie. No one's listening. Unfortunately, it's lost. The United States is lost in its current form. Though, every time we have a move to the right and we find it doesn't work, shit hits the fan, and then people look for an alternative, and it's going to be a move to the left or to the middle or whatever. And not Donald Trump. Because he's going to fail. He's already failing. He's already upset the markets. Now, there was a run, wasn't there? There was a run on stocks and what have you when Donald Trump got in. Oh, we have lower taxes. And all of a sudden, everyone's going to be better off. We'll have lower taxes because Donald Trump is going to lower the taxes, for the rich. For which then, obviously, they think, well, can't I invest more money? And what have you. And then he tells them they're going to put the tariffs up. Like, oh, that ain't going to work, is it? What happened last time he did that, right? He put these tariffs on China, right? China decided, well, we're not going to be buying your meats and stuff like that. So then the farmers in the United States had to think, oh, shit. They thought, oh, crikey. They started protesting. They weren't very happy anyway. So the farmers ended up getting paid a subsidy, a compensation from the federal government, from bloody Trump slots to shut them up. Money coming from the tariffs that they were getting from China. It balanced out. No one was better off. It didn't do anything. It was stupid. All it did is damage the farming in the United States. When you consider the amount of farmers in the United States, regarding all these mega farms, they produce and export huge amounts of flipping meat. It's all like dodgy stuff and full of hormones and shit. Oh, yeah. Don't worry, you've got a new health secretary over there. He'll be working hard for you in January. Yeah, he's gonna. Oh God, Bobby Kennedy, RFK. Oh my God, that man is going to be a disaster, an absolute disaster. Oh dear, poor Americans. I do feel sorry for you, actually. I really do. I know I jest about this stuff, but it's deeply concerning. It also doesn't just affect the United States; it affects everyone. Including silly old me. Affects everybody. Let's move this camera around. I feel trapped by my camera. Yeah, I do. That's better. Oh no, I definitely can't get out now. Never mind. So I cheers that for Thanks for the super chat. Much appreciated. I'm more likely to see, obviously, if you do a little super chat like something, I'm more likely to see your messages and that on here. I thought of that too, says Gingers. Oh, poor Gingers. Oh, I bet you're stressed, aren't you? What's going on over there at the moment? Crikey, there's this madness. It's hard not to laugh at the MAGA stupidity. I know. It's easy to laugh at it, in fact, but it's this is really serious. The damage that's going to be done to the United States is just going to speed up China's ability to take over the world. Even at the BRICS, for instance, people don't really want to don't talk much about the BRICS, really. And if you think about the BRICS, it's like almost half the world's people are actually signed up to the BRICS. Every year, there's like another 13 odd countries joining BRICS. Even France, where I am, tried to join BRICS. They got what Macron got. Said, no, we don't want you, they said. That must be a poke in the eye. That must have been. But yeah, it's a huge economic reunion, I suppose. They want to CPT, 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 CPR, whatever that is. Well, it used to be this. Yeah. It's just nuts. So Donald Trump is going to cause havoc in the United States, weaken it. Is it because he's actually a plant? Maybe, yeah, maybe he's working for China and Russia. Yeah, I wouldn't be a bit surprised. End of the day, we haven't seen those videos yet, have we? The golden showers. They'll be coming soon. They'll be I don't know what to say then. Oh, crikey. Oh, stinky. Just me, not you. Richard Wolff is very smart, but he has a Russian pro-bias. He has, very much so. He's a Russian sympathizer. But I like his views on socialism. He talks a lot of sense. But yeah, I hear what he's saying about that. When last I listened to him was weeks ago, I think it was actually. And he was sort of like trying to make excuses for Russia and the war in Ukraine. I don't think there's any excuses for that, to be honest. In the day, he invaded. You say, well, they're pushed into no. What's the point in pushing it? What's the point in invading a country to then go put Poland on your border when you're saying it's NATO? There's no such thing as NATO expansionism. Other countries join it. It's not a push. It's not a pull. It's a pull, not push or pull. Yes, pull. It's available to everyone who wants to to join. Apart from Russia. And NATO was brought to reality because of the Soviet Union and what have you. It's just how it is, isn't it? Wondering how long before the global crash is going to hit. Trump deregulation, UK deregulation, EU postponing new regulations to guard against the 2008 style crash. Didn't the EU impose some regulations after the 2008? Was it called the T1 or something? Basically, you couldn't borrow against. You need to make sure you got the funds to be able to borrow to lend. Because it's effectively that's what happened with the financial crash, wasn't it? When they shorted all they decided to short the mortgages and the big short. Quick heads up, America, the UK in 2016 voted to impose tariffs on itself. It cost the UK 100 billion a year in lost trade now, plus lost trade, plus the costs of implementing Brexit is heading towards $1 trillion. It's madness. Although fair dues to the Labour Party in the United Kingdom, Keir Starmer that Elon Musk hates. Yes, Elon Musk hates our Keir Starmer. Oh, ain't he lovely, Keir Starmer? He's such a character. Yes, charisma and all that. Okay. Oh, no, definitely not. Anyway, this is not just an effect of the Labour government. This is more of an effect of actual interest rates going up. Interest rates when the interest rate about 5%. The interest rates went up, and what they've done, it basically brought money into the obviously curbed spending to help bring inflation down. But the offshot of that is the fact that the Bank of England got more Wonga, which meant that they could borrow less. $1.5 trillion from our total debt. $1.5 trillion was skimmed off it, which is quite a bit of money, Which our total national debt is now around 3 trillion, 3.9 trillion. Our total debt. Normally they said 2.7, around 2.7, just over. But anyway, they've knocked off 1.5 trillion off it because of this interest rates, which basically came from the taxpayer. Or anyone actually want to borrow money for a house or mortgage and stuff like that. And there's a lot of scares at the moment in the United Kingdom because it hasn't caught up yet. So a lot of people are going to get caught out with the mortgages because it costs them like an extra $500 a month or some stupid, crazy amount of money. Hello, Steve. We're going well. How's Prague? The mysterious laptop so many red hats claim to have yet never produced. It's like all these flipping emails, ones that the Hunter Biden laptop. You got these flipping emails for Clinton. It's just one thing after another. You've got the Epstein files, which Donald Trump said, "Oh yeah, we'll happy to let people." I don't know about that. There might be some fake news in it. Got a squeaky chair. it's whatever suits him, whatever makes him feel that he's not going to go to jail. Maybe. Hey, 100 bacon, cheers, buddy. Trump's also going to ACC, the climate and sea level rise crisis, as it is just 2 foot of sea level rise will force hundreds of thousands, if not millions, to move. But that's all beachfront property. I thought you knew that, one angry pagan. Trump told you. Why would you hate beachfront property? All those little islands that are going to be created around the United Kingdom, the United States, everywhere. Yeah, I'd be more worried about the rise of sea temperatures, of course, and all these other climatic responses. Yeah, more storms, tsunamis, and shit like that. It's very worrying. A bit heady, but yeah, says Tom Finney. That's a bit heady. Oh, Devon is. Oh, okay. Norfolk, where I'm from, Norfolk, East Anglia. That's rather flat. It is. So. I've digressed again, haven't I? Mad Monk, hello, buddy. I didn't see you there, my friend. I hope you're well. We had a train crash in some small town due to getting rid of regulations in 2018. What is this about these flipping nut jobs? You know, the Liz Trusses, the Donald Trumps, and all that. You know. They get rid of all, small states, small state they go on about, don't they? It's there to protect people. Just like we have ECHR. It's there to protect citizens of countries or signed up to ECHR from unscrupulous governments that, quite frankly, don't give a damn about you. They just care about what you can do. Now, today, the first part of the bill has gone through regarding in the United Kingdom. I don't know if you know that in the United States, but the right to end your life, can't remember the name of it now. But anyway, it gives the individual the right to be able to say, no, I've had enough. I've got a terminal illness. That's it. That's the end of it. There's two ways to look. I mentioned this before, but there's two ways to look at this. What about the fact that it's actually going to be cheaper? for the NHS, for instance, not in the United, we work in the United States because obviously, at the end of the day, you've got a insurance-backed system. But in the United, we've got the national insurance-backed system in the United Kingdom, but the NHS, it's going to save the NHS a huge amount of money. More people decide they're going to top themselves because the end result is the same. What's the point of being? I've had 1, 2, 3, 2. My grandfather, my mother, my uncle, all three of those, in a relatively short period of time, actually, all died on a morphine drip, completely and utterly out of it for what? For weeks. Just completely. What's the point of that? That's not an existence. On a big old automatic syringes, just all doing something, just laying there and having their bums changed and stuff. I didn't want to see my mum go like that. No, I didn't want to see my grandfather go like that either. He had leukemia. No. I want to remember the person for who they were, not that thing that happens to be alive, sort of, but dying in front of me. Who wants to see that? Who wants that to be their last living memory? It's like dignity, isn't it? Hence digitas. Dignity. Having that choice. It's a difficult one, though, because who makes the decision? Ideally, it'd be the individual choosing to go that way, so they can actually, have a button they press, administer the drugs and what have you, and it's done, and they've done it themselves, basically suicide. But then they'll go to hell, if you believe in all that. And then, if that isn't the case, do you have a member of the family? Well, that could cause massive family problems, couldn't it? It's going to be like Brexit. That'd be like Brexit. You say, don't want that, do you? No, so it's going to have to be somebody who's disconnected from it all, like a board or some, like a group of people making that decision. And then then they'll be called murderers, by a certain sector of society. So it's a really difficult question. I understand why I want it to go for, personally. I would like it to go for it because I think it's the right thing to do. We do it to our animals because it's the right thing to do because they're suffering and there's nothing we can do for them. Why would we want our family members, people that we love, to suffer like that? Why would to top that? Why would you want Donald Trump as your president? It's the same thing. It's flipping hell. And also, people are going to die as a result. It's shocking, really, isn't it? So anyway, that's my view on that one. So I'm not going to go on about that one because I think people are probably sick to death hearing about it the last 3 days because all that's been on the news in the United Kingdom is about this right to die. So and about how it could be drawn out into it's a slippery slope. They say, well, it doesn't have to be a slippery slope. That's stupid, So I don't know. Some people say I'm a Marxist. Some people say I'm a capitalist. Not capitalist, a communist. That doesn't worry me. Or socialist, that doesn't worry me. I wouldn't say I'm a communist. I'm not a socialist, yeah. But I still, all my year, I've always sort of like dabbled in a bit of capitalism as well. Never done very well at it. Commodities, we have, you have a certain amount of capital, and you can then use that capital. Money makes money and all that. But these people are just up the top there, just the scum that happens to be up there. You know what I mean? Actually, it's not fair. Not everyone's scum, but people like Elon Musk, for instance. Oh, but he's giving you jobs and all that. Yeah. Whenever I look, there's a strike on somewhere. It's in Tesla or somewhere like that. You know what I mean? Because they're not happy. Or even Jeff Bezos with Amazon. There's always strikes because they're not treated well as workers. And there's rules here, especially in the EU, what have you. There's rules, and the United Kingdom, there's still rules. And most of them got rolled over from the EU, but and then you got these individuals like flipping Nigel Farage, push a small state, less control by the state and stuff. Yeah, because they don't want to do anything. They don't want to do the job, do they? And it's just I hate all the people coming over the borders and stuff, in their little boats, just like flipping Elon Musk and they go on the southern board and that. Elon Musk is a racist, you know that, don't you? He's a full-on racist. And it's not surprising considering his upbringing. If you look at his father and what have you, he's another flipping racist. And it's almost part of their upbringing, from where they're from. People in South Africa, what have you, the white communities, they were literally white communities in fenced off compounds. Now, a friend of ours who still lives here in France, he actually owned a tobacco plantation in South Africa. He's a full-on racist. No, he lives here in France, he's full-on racist. Things that come out of his flipping mouth. He's not the nicest of people. He is if you're white, Yeah. No wonder there was an uprising. So, caring about others has been absolutely demonized here. Is that in the United States? Looking after other people. I call it just kindness. Just taking care of people who are less fortunate than yourself. The nice thing here about living in France is you've obviously got your communities and what have you, but you've got in this little hamlet I'm in here. We've got a certain amount of people, and we take care of each other. And we've got almost like a bartering system. Like, I grow veg and stuff, and they grow veg, and they might do better than we are on certain things. We do better than them on certain things. We just have a little exchange going on, or maybe our crop was better than their crop, or whatever. And you have a bit of a swap. And it's you always that way you've got to make the connections as well, aren't you? You're getting to see people, talking to these people, and having a little natter as well, a little yarn, and it's it builds bridges. It builds bridges. The other day. Actually, earlier this year, I say it was about a month ago, a neighbour up here, Nicole, her cat was on the roof, and they couldn't get it in. So they asked, "Can you get a ladder?" They're French, and so got a ladder out there in Scullion, and got on the roof to get the cat in. Anyway, the cat took one look at me and ran straight in the window that was open. So I had the desired effect. I didn't exactly save the cat, but anyway, it worked. But it's just anyway, it provides that little connection, you know, just looking after and keeping an eye on other people. We're so insular these days. We really are insular. No, my son, he lives in the suburbs. He's moved now, actually. When he was in the suburbs of Norwich, didn't even there for several years in Marlborough Road, Norwich, and he never ever had spoken to one of his neighbours. The other one he had, but one of his neighbours, never spoken to him. I find that a little odd, you know. Yeah, I'm a bit of well, if I see someone, I'll have a bit of a yarn, a bit of a natter, if they want to, and probably bore the hell out of them. But you know, it's just I feel that connection with the people around you and society around you, I think that's being disconnected. But I think that's down to people worried for a start. I know a lot of people in the United States are very scared, not just those because of Trump, but because those, I mean, from the MAGA lot who actually voted for him, a lot of the MAGA lot are really frightened. It's been driven into them that socialism is so bad, and that it should be fought with all your might. You know, because it'd be communism and stuff like that. It'd be like China. Yet China's economy is doing that like that, and they're just doing like that. And Donald Trump is going to make it go even further. Now, I'm not a supporter of China by China. I mean, Uyghur Muslims and stuff like that is horrendous. And when you consider they put, your bread that you eat, your white bread has a thing called listine in it, which actually comes from human hair. It's preservative that's put in bread, especially in cheap factory bread. Oh. And don't get me onto the oh crikey, what was it now? Was it the beaver anal gland juice? Don't get me onto that though. Yeah, flavour enhancer for raspberry or strawberry ripple ice cream. You think I'm kidding? Do your research. Oh, the stuff they put in food these days. Maybe that's why Bobby Kennedy is kicking off about while he's having his McDonald's in Donald Trump's jet. Oh, crikey, these people, unbelievable, aren't they? Absolutely unbelievable. There we go. That's very true. Oh, where's it gone? I'm just trying to bring that back up. I can't see the bottom of the chat. Red number 6. Yellow number 10. What? Al Murray's jokes about Americans is funny, isn't he? True enough, Steve. I do too. There are some old vatniks in villages who miss it. Not many, though. I talk about communism. It was like in the Soviet Union. A lot of them, they love the Soviet Union. They feel they, when they got so-called democracy, which has been pretty much broken down by Vladimir Putin, but it's not democracy when you start poisoning the opposition, is it? In their underwear. No. It doesn't feel quite right to me. Oh no, getting low in my beer. Right, there we go. What are you building at the moment? At the moment, I am working on my laser room. My lab, I call it my lab, like Dexter's lab. It's all like stuff, fixing stuff in there, for electronics and stuff like that. And I'm just been making drawers today. Yes, drawers, not the kind that you wear. No, not those sort of drawers. Drawers, just wooden drawers to go in the units. That's what I've been making today. And I hate making drawers because they're just so tedious. And I make them out of any old stuff I've got left laying around, so I don't have to go spend money. So it just makes it even harder to do, But yeah, drawers. I have to admit, when I do drawers, if I just make a couple of drawers for a nice unit or something, I like them because I put all blind dovetails in the drawers, do it properly, And I actually really enjoy doing that sort of stuff. But when it's just in bog standard drawers and you just got to work, it's just it's tedious. Dexter is mentally insane. Maybe I am. Oh. Wally bra. I'm confused. Hello, buddy. If anyone didn't know this, I've got another channel. It was a woodworking channel called Wally Bra, and I've lost my mojo a bit. Right? I lost my mojo, and I haven't been able to, even on this channel. I've been struggling. When I make videos, I have to really get my mindset right, because since I lost my little dog, I'm so upset about it. You know, it's just I'm torn up inside. I am. He's the best part of me. He was. He's been gone for 3 weeks now. This Saturday. So yeah, it's 3 weeks. It would have been about 3 o'clock this morning, in France. It is. So yeah. Hello, Joe. I hope you're well. Hope you're well, my friend. How's Portugal? And why is the EU saying is your last chance to Portugal or something? Something I read earlier today. I didn't read it all through though. They actually voted against their own healthcare. Yeah. At what point does someone give up on these people? I know that's a good point actually. When you're saying about Bernie Sanders, what have you, you should give up on them and just go home, have a tipple or something. I don't know. But Bernie Sanders, he's a lovely, lovely man, and he cares about people. He actually he does that job. He does that job, and he's been fighting for that for so long. For socialism in the United States, to some degree, he knows he's fighting a losing battle, but he might have got a little bit closer, It's because he loves his country and he loves people. And he wants people to do better for themselves. Not this flipping capitalist lark, which is literally just bleeding people dry. The thing is, you can't keep sucking the money out and expect there to be any left. You can't keep sitting on piles of cash and expect there to be any left. It needs to be recirculated. Now, I've said this in the past. I'll say it again. Do we take the money away from these people? Well, then effectively that's not really right. No, we've put them in a position where they feel they're better off to spend it. And then you would hope it will recirculate. They'll come back to them eventually again. But they keep sending it, they come back down again. And then you have this cycle going on. It's not perfect. It's darn so better than what we've got now. There needs to be some sort of, to encourage that, some sort of tax privilege to encourage people, with all this money, sitting on all this money, to spend more money in the country that they're in, and maybe encourage them to build houses, for instance, where we need houses, to invest in that kind of thing, in infrastructure. Yeah, okay, they're going to get more capital, but also they're going to get more money will be filtering through. There'll be the builder, the plumber, and those people, working class type people on the tools. I was almost my life. We spend everything we got. It ends up in the system and it starts circling. We need to get some money back down. If they're going to hoard a load, we need to get some back. You're not going to suck them all dry. That's never going to happen. They're not going to allow it to happen because they haven't allowed it to happen up to now. They've put the fear of God into people in people's minds and in the mindset regarding Marxism is bad, communism is I'm not kidding on communism, by the way. Socialism is bad. We need more socialism. Socialism is you can sleep too, can you? That's just something I saw. I just saw the headlines. It might have been clickbait, but we'll see. I'll find out, mate. I can't remember exactly what it was. It was something about EU and Portugal's last chance or something. It's probably something silly. I think it's something to do with national debt or something. I think it was something like that. I might be wrong. No, the hell you don't. What don't you want to don't? One would think after the spanking we got during the pandemics that more pressure to rebuild supply chains to manufacture and grow things, yes, would have been higher. Let me just put some wood on that fire because I have let it go out. That's a silly thing to do. And I've got the door open over there. Oh, crikey. What am I like? Oh, empires. What empire? Do you know any empires left? There's China. The United Kingdom got an empire, isn't it? Gave it away. That was all post-war. I think about effectively, we got completely screwed during World War II, didn't we? United Kingdom, not screwed as in screwed over, but the fact is that the United States became not an empire necessarily, but became a controlling power. They would speak, they would talk, and they would say, "How high? Jump how high." That's it, and that's how it goes, isn't it? Something like that. Oh, really, let this fire go down. I'm just going to shut my door over there, just so if it doesn't take again, the house is not, or this my office here is not going to absolutely freeze because it's quite cold at the moment. So bear with us. And doggies keep looking at me because they want treats. Dogs like treats. I like a treat. Can I have a treat? Yeah. I'm back. Sorry about that. It's just there's fire bricks in there, so they stay warm for ages. And I've got the door shut in the office, so then it'll stay warm. That's the plan. Anyway, that's the plan. Yeah. Luke Walsh, my Uncle Louis was blackballed as a communist, despite 2 Oscar nominations for set design. Oh my God. A political and economic theory of social organization which advocates that the means of production, distribution, and exchange should be owned or regulated by a community as a whole. Well, that's pretty much, you Marxist. You Marxist, you. Well, it should be. That just makes sense. Oh, crikey, who was it again? Oh, regarding Marxism. It wasn't just, Karl Marx, was it? It was Karl Marx, and I wrote it down there, actually, because I keep forgetting his name. Is it Frederick something, I think. I'll come to me a minute. I did write it down. Did I write it down? No, I didn't write it down. I thought I wrote it down. Or did I write that over there? Oh, I can't remember now. What did I write down over here? Oh, Engels, Frederick Engels, that's it. I did write down. I wrote down a bit of chalk on a bit of paper down there, and it's like really blurry. Engels, cheers! And Engels. Cheers, buddy. Thank you, but an angry pagan. Yeah. What is a Yank? Yankee Doodle. The Americans, the Americans. I really feel sorry for the people in the United States, to be honest. I think they've had quite a hard time of late, and they've been lied to big time. And only those who, the clever people out there who have, people couldn't actually add up, are the ones who, can recognise the lies and see, between all the wood from the trees. Cheers for that one, Angry Pagan. And Michael McFall said, "Why don't you just move to a socialist or communist country if you think it works so well?" Well, I have. I'm in France. These are hybrids. They're not really. It's a socialist country, but it's not really socialist because it's capitalist. It's a hybrid. Our economic system here in France is capitalist, but how it treats its people is socialist. But you've got the United Kingdom, you've got socialism in the United Kingdom. What about the NHS? That's a socialist project. It really is. Mark's biggest fan. I see you here, mate. Oh, thank you. Cheers, buddy. Thanks for being you. Oh, thank you. Oh, cheers, my friend. For £20, thank you. I hope you're well, my friend. I hope you're not working too hard and it's getting cold. I shouldn't be working outside and that. Oh, dear. Thank you. I will never retire. I have 62 employees. Says Bob. I will never retire. 62 employees. I didn't have many employees. I had loads of subcontractors when I was employing people. You only had 13 people work for us, but I had lots of some subcontractors as and when we needed them. And yeah, it was hard work though. It's hard work. It's not easy being the boss. I know that you get these big organisations and it's probably different kettle of fish, but when you got all guys in different sites all over the place, I was running around like a blue-ass fly, and then I was doing all the tenders and all the touting for work. And oh yeah, it's flipping hard. They drove me a nervous breakdown. It was so stressful. I don't recommend it for anybody, you know. The best times was actually when it was just me and my son working, and we were doing really well just on our own. When it started getting out of hand and getting bigger and bigger and bigger, it was impossible. It became very difficult to manage because the profit margins weren't really there. You know, you need a lot of cream on. You know, you need a lot of cream on the top to be able to suffer the hard times. And then we got the hard times, didn't we, back in 2008? So that's yeah, we struggled. We did a lot of council work back then. The councils were then tightening their belts big time. New York, we call Yanks over here. Oh. Hey, number 3, I hope you're well. Hello, Petrol, 7957. Anna Bevan was the brainchild of the NHS. I named my son after him. People's champion. Brilliant. You think think what happened in, you know, so the 1930s, the Great Depression. Back, 1930. I remember the days. I was a wee dipper. Yeah, I fared quite well. That's why I got a grey beard, you see. Yeah, in the 1930s, we got a Great Depression. What do? They turned to socialist concepts. They made the rich pay to rebuild the country's economy. They made the rich pay. A socialist system that was very expensive. And the rich paid. You know, it's like the United Kingdom. It's pretty much the same thing and the same time period. You know, we had monies were taken from the rich in the form of taxation, and same, you know, taxation again in the United States, form of taxation. Tax the rich. There's a good reason for doing this, because if you don't do this and start getting this money back down into the hands of the ordinary folk, the rich are not actually going to get any richer, because they're only rich because they're bleeding off us. You know, they're bleeding us. That's the only reason why they got money. It's because of us. As soon as we realise that they actually should be providing for us because we're actually providing for them, we're silly. We're part of the same machine. Spokes in the wheel and all that. Just that they happen to have more spokes than what we have. Stupid analogy, I know. But the tax rich, and what they do, they built houses in the 1930s. You know, all the council houses were pretty much the start of the council house building. It was in the 1930s, and it was paid for by the rich. It was only since when things started going really bad was since the breakdown. We maintained that like this social agreement right until really Margaret Thatcher's time, and in the United States, Ronald Reagan, I suppose. So, and then they just started untangling that social. That social. It had a name, didn't it? What was it called? Oh. Anyway, they untangled and what have you, and then everyone went to pot after that because money just kept going up. You know, we keep ever since. Really, we've had more boom and bust since those president and prime ministers than we ever had before, really. Boom and bust, boom and bust, boom and bust. And the problem is because the money goes up there and it doesn't come back down here to ordinary people. While they're holding on to it, those at the bottom are struggling. Everything becomes more expensive, you get more inflation. It's a recipe for disaster. It really is. It's been my fire's lit. Oh, time to put more. Yes, it's come back to life. That's good news. A bit more time. So it's a crying shame, isn't it? Let's be honest. Daily Blase. Did I see Daily Blase, or was I just seeing things? I thought I just saw Daily Blase. Or was it my eyes going stupid? Daily Blase, he's in there. Hello there. Hope you're well. Good evening, Marcus. Good evening, chat. Hope everyone is very well. I hope you are very well as well. If you don't know us already, Number 3 and Daily Blase, they've also got their own channels. And oh, so it's Joel. I remember that because I watched your video the other day. And who else was there? Anyone else in the chat I know who's got other channels? Oh, and one angry pagan. He's got his own channel as well. He's very angry though. If you like listen to angry, he's the one to listen to. And he likes the environment, and so do I. You know, because we go on about this sort of stuff, don't we? We go on the economy, socialist communism, all that sort of stuff. None of that really matters unless we've got some planet to be able to practice it on. None of it does. You know. Yeah. The only country that's really going green at the moment is actually China. No, that's not because China's, that's a good right thing to do. The only reason they're doing it is because they can make more money. It's either save money or make money. Everything's economic in China. It's just not everything, but so. But what about successes? I've always said, "I fall on the sword." Or was that Japan? Yeah, Reagan started this dystopian project. Yeah, and Margaret Thatcher, flipping woman, she was awful. The crazy thing is, people who hail Margaret Thatcher, for instance, are the same people that hate the EU, and she was the one that fought for it. You know, okay, she wanted a better deal, but you've chucked a handbag on the death. Oh, we're Britain. We're British. But at the end of the day, she did believe in the project. She really did. So did Winston Churchill. Okay, it was different back then, but you know. There we go. It's been tried, it doesn't work. What doesn't work? Sorry. What's been tried, it doesn't work? You're talking about socialism. It clearly does. You know, if you talk about, China, for instance, it was a communist country, I know, but it's there you go. Where is it? Well, this is what. Hang on. So today, the existing communist states in the world is China, Cuba, Laos, Vietnam, and North Korea. It's working for them, isn't it? You know, they've got Russia on their side. The people can't feed themselves, but you know, they're just cannon fodder now for Russia, aren't they? So it doesn't matter. These people, they don't care about the people. Those sort of countries, they don't care about the people. I wouldn't say that with China so much. But it's all about the master plan. Yeah, look at what China's done regarding these flipping minerals. They're finding these minerals. They just found a massive gold deposit. I don't know where it was because I didn't read the article, but they've just found the largest ever gold deposit. It's huge, apparently. It's worth billions and billions and billions and billions. It's one gold deposit. You know, which will probably get used in electronics and all sorts of stuff. Yeah, but they're the ones who are signing up all these deals with all these African countries, which are, and if you're talking about the Commonwealth in the United Kingdom, where, these countries are saying, "Oh, sod you lot, we're going with them lot now." Oh, well, Russia can be a bit our protectorate, and like for instance, France, Niger, they basically broke up. Effectively, they've still got communication going on, but they're effectively split, and they've turned to Russia. None of this stuff, no one wants to speak up about it. No one really want to talk about this stuff. Or you don't hear about it in the news and stuff. Or what is actually really going on over there, and it should concern us all. And understand the fact that we've got a system that doesn't work anymore. I think basically we've bled people too far now, and it's getting to a point where we're just not keeping the money moving. It's either up and out. China owns so much flipping money, got so much of the American dollar as well as the British pound. Same with Russia. It's daft. It's so daft. What is the point of having all that money just sitting in, say, the Cayman Islands somewhere, or having a business or property or capital just sitting in the Cayman Islands? Even though the United Kingdom really is one of the biggest flipping tax havens in the world. There's so many systems in the UK that allows you to avoid paying taxes if you're a foreigner. Now, I've talked about this before, but the asset holding companies in the United Kingdom, they were got rid of by Cameron and brought back again by Boris Johnson in 2019. Asset holding companies, you don't know what they are. Basically, it's like a limited company that holds your assets. So it could be property and what have you, land or stuff, or even businesses. And when you sell them off, if you have a asset holding company, you sell that asset, well, then you have to pay taxes on it. But if you're a foreigner, it's ring fencing. They don't pay no taxes on it. It's nuts. How is that fair? That's a setup, isn't it? Not a lot of people talk about this shit. It's these systems have been put in place to fail the common man, woman, or person. They already have. It's almost like it's deliberate. Systems put in place to be able to feed the rich so they can suck more money from us, bleed us dry. I'm not trying to say hard done by and stuff like that sort of thing, don't bother me, to be honest, but at the end of the day, there are people out there who are suffering, who can barely get a job that feed, the minimum wage, for instance. The United States, what's the minimum wage in the United States? It's about $7 or something stupid. It's ridiculously low. It hasn't gone up in like 15 years. What? Even though the country, that was, I think it was 1930s actually, when they brought in the minimum wage in the United States. And the minimum wage in the UK is pathetic. People under 25 years old, they've been stuffed regarding the minimum wage. They get screwed over big time, You should be in university. That's what you should do. Go to university. I think it's deliberate. I really do. A maximum wage is better. The thing is, number 3. So, yes, it's deliberate, but it's also a massive mistake. Because pretty much what led to the Great Depression. You can't have individuals hoarding all that money and expect a society to be able to fund itself, let alone people fund themselves, keep the wolf from the door, but pay their bills, feed their families, keep a roof over their head. What are the rents in the UK at the moment, For a little 3-bedroom house, people are paying just, in Norwich, for instance, be about £1,000 a month just in rent. Well, if you're on the minimum wage, you ain't going to have a lot left out of that, are you? That was at £10, whatever it is an hour. Not a lot at all. It's 250 quid a week out of your wages. So if you're like borderline, if you're not getting any help, any financial help, what have you, and you're just literally, treading water, aren't you? You might be okay. You might get your childcare paid for 3 days a week, 2.5 days a week, whatever it is, stuff like that. You know, your nursery places, 30 hours or something. It doesn't help everybody, and it's going to get worse. You know, with obviously increasing energy prices, increase of the cost of money. It's still relatively high. You know, I know the interest rates have come down, but they're likely to go back up again. If you forget inflation, they're going to come up again. If Donald Trump does what he's doing, there's a distinct possibility. The most likely scenario is that the inflation is going to go up. I know there's a possibility it could actually come down because all prices of stuff technically come down, so you might not notice the inflation so much. In the United Kingdom, but in the United States, it's going to be horrendous. If Donald Trump does what he says he's going to do regarding these tariffs, that's borderline madness. It's absolutely borderline madness. Tariffs are great if they're used to protect a product or service in your country. If, say, for instance, I know. If I was Elon Musk, I'd be happy with my tariffs. If somebody else was copying my Teslas over, I don't know, in China somewhere, copying my Teslas, and they're going to flood the market in the United States with my Teslas and my design, exactly the same as ones that I'm building, which probably building in Mexico, but anyway, available. They're not okay. It makes sense to make it more expensive for the ones that be imported. So the ones that have been made in the United States has more of a chance to have they're preferential. You can control the market with tariffs. And there are tariffs already. There's tariffs, all sorts of stuff. Donald Trump put huge tariffs, let's say, on China last time, which really backfired. Just to end up buggering up the farmers in the United States, as I talked about earlier. But it's they're useful tool. They're a useful thing to use, but they could be used correctly. Not global tariffs. What he's talking about. He's talking about adding another 10% on top of China. There's going to be like 50, 60% tariffs on China. A 60% tariff on China, 25% on Mexico and Canada. Nearest trading partner. That's madness. Half your oil comes from flipping Canada. It's nuts. All the timber, build your houses, all comes from Canada. Flipping out all your building sites. This is going to stop overnight. Prices will just shoot right up. And these would be companies that are already tendered for works to do certain jobs without any protections in their contracts because the prices are just shot up ridiculously because you can't necessarily forecast that. Besides, even if they did manage to charge more money, can your customer pay it? Probably not. It's madness. It's just such madness. He's going to cause such devastation for people. It's quite sad, really. Really is. And the thing is, what made it was crazy is they vote against their own best interests. The MAGA lot, have you? Now, I know I jest about this stuff in my videos. I call them stupid because I think it's stupid is as stupid does. If you do something that is stupid, it is just stupid. And this means you're being stupid. It means you're stupid. You might be clever in other areas, but you clearly aren't on that one. Highly skilled people out there, who voted for Donald Trump. Highly skilled people, but it's just not their field. I don't mean to say they're stupid. They're just ignorant on, tariffs, for instance. Now, all my life I've worked the tools. I didn't know anything about this sort of stuff. Hardly anything. I wish I did. I might be a bit better off now. But, I worked on my tools all my life. I always have a chisel or a hand plane or something in my hands, working the tools. That's what I did all my life. That's what I cared about. That's what I loved, get roof over heads and stuff and feed the family. I had 6 kids, I had to look after them. That's all that was my concern. Okay, I live here in France with my dogs and my missus. We've still got one of our kids live nearby, married a lass here in France. Yeah, but my direct responsibilities are different though, so I do different stuff, and I took an interest in this since Brexit. Brexit really, oh my God, it woke me up. I tell you, it really did. How did this happen? And the same regarding the United States, regarding Donald Trump. How the hell does it happen for a second time? Once bitten, twice shy. That's like the definition of an idiot, isn't it? The definition of an idiot is making the same mistake again and again and again. Yes, this definition has been stupid as well, isn't it? Making the same mistake again and again and again. Why do it? Why do it? Now, if you don't understand it, because you might be a little bit ignorant towards it, it's not criticism. Not everyone knows everything, do they? Wouldn't you find out? Wouldn't you actually look at the sources of the information and not just some idiot on YouTube? You look it up, check it out. What does this stuff actually mean? What are the effects of tariffs, for instance? What is a tariff? Which was the biggest search term after Donald Trump got in power. Not in power, he's inaugurated yet. And all that. Oh, you got a special handshake. Capitalism fails because agreed. Chris Evans says, it's interesting thought. He says that capitalism fails because agreed. I've said that before, and that's very true. And but there again, the same as socialism and communism, there's always greed. It's human nature. Greed is human nature. It's always about having more than the other person, whether it be monetary or in physical stuff, or having something better than somebody else. That's greed. Socialism fails because of the lazy. What about UBI then? Is that being lazy, or is it a potential necessity? Even Elon Musk said that there'll be an inevitability that the universal basic income will be a requirement, or will be a necessity. We'll have to have it because, well, the robots will be doing a better job than the humans. That's pretty much what he meant by that. AI is already taking jobs. It is seriously taking jobs. Copywriters, even people who just write copy on websites and stuff like that. A lot of people turn to AI to do it for them. A lot of people, they can write the stuff themselves and just put it through ChatGPT and let them do all the punctuation and stuff. I know my missus does that. It can write code. It can, well, not if you've got DALL-E, they can draw your images and stuff, and it's getting better and better all the time. And you've got the video versions. It's getting scary. Now, I just had a company get in contact with me for my woodworking channel, asking me if I wanted to sign up to this thing for AI for data. So sign my YouTube channel up to. I'm not going to do this. Don't worry. YouTube channel, my woodworking Wadi Bra, to this AI system, so it can collect data, so it can build its AI. Bit like Elon Musk is trying to get people to upload their healthcare and stuff. So they're offering quite a bit of money. I'm a bit dubious of that sort of stuff. For start, if they're trying to get in the back end of my YouTube channel, I definitely do not want that. So I tend to shy from that sort of stuff. But, how many times have you heard me say this? Data is the new gold. I've said it so many times in the past. And it is. And we should protect it. But we're so frivolous with it. Now, you might feel safe at the moment, or what's the worry about? It don't matter. It's what they can do with it in the future. That's the worry. And some data doesn't change, such as medical records. You might add to them, but they effectively don't change. And then we just pretty much signed them all over to Palantir in the United States. Stupid as a stupid does. And they said to us, you just got to go to your doctors and sign the paperwork to say you don't want this to happen. You go to the flipping doctors, ask them about it. They didn't know anything about it. They don't know what to do. Because the doctor will be asked to upload your data to an American company, Palantir, the same company that's buying up loads of doctors' surgeries practices in London, for instance. It's not directly from Palantir. It's another company that's owned by Palantir. Palantir, whatever you call it anyway. It's an American company. It's just, are we blind? What's going on? Really? It's all right for all to see, but you know, you might see this over there and that over there, but we don't seem to put two and two together and think, hang on, all of a sudden there's thousands of these, or maybe millions of these things going on around us that's all pointing in one direction. It's funneling. There's a marketing term, funneling to the rich. Yeah, BlackRock, you're right. BlackRock, good point. BlackRock is buying up the UK. Another major concern. I've got fingers in all sorts of pies, I have. BlackRock. What does Pagan say? What have I missed? Oh, anyway, let's go on this one there. Hello, Jay Harrison. In the US, we are making deportation camps. Oh, lovely. Oh. Is it 5-star? Does anyone else remember what that means? This man is in charge of our country in January, and a lot of us are terrified. I can imagine. It must be horrendous. Not just for those who like to be chucked in these camps. These are flipping concentration camps. That's what they are. Okay, they got they put the bill through, didn't they, regarding being able to separate families. That's Donald Trump, that was, and his ilk. To separate families. You know, so you've got kids being separated from people in cages, literally put in cages. How inhumane is that? Can you imagine if you were that person, say in that cage for it? It must be so frightening. Must have been so frightening. It doesn't bear thinking about, does it really? And it's like, how far has it fallen in the United States to actually condone it or say, oh, this is okay, this is how we're going to treat them? How is that? What's wrong with these people? And what if the shoe was on the other foot? They'd be crying out for help, wouldn't they? They'll be little snowflakes. That's what they'll be. What's wrong? What's wrong? Oh. Yeah, funneled right to BlackRock. I'll get you. Michael McFall. We use that term funneling. I use it in network marketing. If you like, for instance, websites and stuff like that. So you're trying to funnel people to one place. So, like, for instance, you might have a very simple page on a website with just one product on it, no other links, no nothing on there. It's just that product. And what you do is you funnel people from all these different places to that one place. And also it then goes up in the search terms, that one page, but also you then got a potential of getting people to buy stuff. You know, it could be a product, totally legitimate, you know, but it's just funneling. It's just a marketing term. But it works in all sorts of stuff, isn't it? You know. I don't think Donald Trump is going to be using funneling, is he? He's just going to be scooping these people up and then just chucking them out, basically. I don't know how this is going to work. I don't even know if it's currently. It wouldn't even be legal, would it? Half these things he wants to do isn't legal. It's like these people he wants to put in his government. Maybe some of them are going to get, going to get a bit of turmoil, aren't they? That Peter Hegseth, even his own mother, has gone against him. I did have this here somewhere. Where was it? Peter Hegseth. That's right. I don't know the full details of this, but it's there. There we go. That was law. There we go. Trump Defense Secretary nominee Peter Hegseth's mother called him an abuser of women. How bad have you got to be for your own mother to turn against you? How bad have you got to be? This is one of Donald Trump's top men. So the family dynamics of Peter Hegseth, Donald Trump's nominee for Secretary of Defense, have burst out into the open after an email from his mother criticizing her son over his treatment of women and calling him an abuser of women was leaked to a newspaper. That's obviously deliberate. This was only back in 2018. Penelope Hegseth accused her son of routinely mistreating women and displaying a lack of character. What has happened in that family for his own mother to actually want to come out? She must be so ashamed of him. So ashamed. Says here, you are that man, and you have been for years. And as your mother, it pains me and embarrasses me to say that, but it is the sad, sad truth, she added, advising her son to get some help and take an honest look at yourself. They're the kind of people that Donald Trump is putting in his cabinet, if it gets passed. And then obviously we've got these mad hatters like Bobby Kennedy. They've got the border czar, which is Tom Homan. He'd be happy to hang them all. He'd probably big flamethrowers, wouldn't he? There's Nazis. These people are. There's Nazis. They're horrendous people. What's wrong? Why can't we just go get on? Why? That doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. No one's really going to get anything out of this. If there's a problem, like for instance, there was issues regarding the European Union. Obviously, that wasn't perfect by no means, but no, we're getting dictated to in the United Kingdom. We decided to leave it. Not my vote, no. Decided to leave it, and no, we are sitting on the outside of it. We have no say. They're dictating to us. They're telling us what's what, how we have to trade with them, because it's their market. It's not our market. We want to sell our goods to them, but they're telling us how it is. They can use their tariffs against us, even though apparently there's no tariffs. But then you've got rules of origin, which pretty much imposes tariffs. Food products that you can really sell into the European Union from the United Kingdom that isn't subjected to tariffs. That's why all these flipping special economic zones keep popping up all over the place. It stands to reason, because for them, one part of the tariffs is lost. Okay, there's still tariffs to get into the EU, but if products are going backwards and forwards, you're not getting hit with UK tariffs, even though we haven't really done that yet anyway. That's going to be interesting when that happens in full, if it does. There we come. America. What did it say there? What did I just say? Donald Trump is disgusting. He certainly is. Indifference is killing America. People were Googling about tariffs after the election. I'll say I was that person. Not before. Tariffs are complicated if they've been used correctly, but doing it globally on everything, that's just madness. It's got it backfires. But it's a beautiful word. It's the most beautiful word in the world, it is, says Donald Trump. He's disgusting. Down I come. Boring is good. Are you referring to Keir Starmer? I wish he had a bit more charisma. I think he'd get further. He's fighting his battle. He didn't have a chance. Right-wing media and a capitalist system, it doesn't mesh well, does it? Well, it does for themselves, but not for anyone else. And we've got the right-wing media kicking off at Keir Starmer and Labour. Now Elon Musk is taking his claws in with his flipping Twitter, using that as a platform of hate and divide. I'm on Blue Sky now. If anyone wants to catch up with some Blue Sky, and it's a much nicer place, and it's growing so fast. It's becoming more and more useful every day. So yeah, I like it on there. It's much nicer. People seem nicer. The Trade and Cooperation Agreement, AllShorts, the Trade and Cooperation Agreement. Tariffs can be applied in case of non-compliance with the rules of origin. Yeah, I can't remember what it is regarding cars. It's something like 50% or something stupid like that. But when you got like the batteries, like the biggest part, and the component of the batteries are all imported, it doesn't make life easy, does it? there and take. If they were a plug-in battery, like a giant AA or something, well, then you could just take it over the border, couldn't you? Then plug a AA and make it over there. And then you're done, and no rules of origin. The thing about if it's coming from the EU, though, they can claim that money back. But if it's, say, for instance, components from China or any other country outside of the European Union and outside the United Kingdom, but then obviously the tariff is applied. It just makes life so complicated. It's not just the tariff itself; it's the cost of implementing the bureaucracy, the red tape. That's costing businesses huge amounts of money. They have to employ people just for that job, or employ contractors to do that job, so a company to do that job. It's unwieldy. The fishermen and what have you. It's just a nightmare for one load of fish going over to the European Union. It can cost €600 just in extra costs. There's no more profit in it. It's just extra costs. They can't charge any more for it because they just buy it from elsewhere in the EU. So they've got to be competitive. So they lost profit. Number 3 says, I don't have much traction on Blue Sky yet, but I did get some activity. Now, number 3, okay, when you're scrolling through, I don't know if you've seen it before, you can actually do, follow back Fridays on Twitter. There's a version of that on there, which is so much easier. You can just say follow all, and then these people come back to you. You can grow a lot more like-minded people because they tend to be, if they're in a certain group, it'll be a group on a certain thing. It'll be about socialism, for instance. And then you'll find that they'll build up, and then they will do the same, and it kind of replicates. I ain't been on there for a couple of weeks. I've got 140, 50 odd people on there already. Following me now, so it's growing quite quickly. I reckon we should keep Twitter account going. I've kept my account because I've still got people who contact me, so I use the contact system still on the Twitter, but I don't use Twitter. I try my best to refrain from even commenting on there, apart from that full Monty geezer who's attacking me and my dog. Well, even his own family, I didn't even realise this. It's like his daughter, Ivanka Trump, or whatever her name is, she's now gone to her husband's name. She's using her husband's name. She's kind of trying to separate herself from her father. I can imagine being red flagged by your own platform. I don't know. What be by me? I'm a bit lapsed that sort of. If people are horrible on the chat and stuff like that regarding the comments on the videos, well then, I mean horrible, like really offensive, they're gone. I won't have it because it's not fair on other people. But if people got put a different point of view, that's fine. That's what's about, isn't it? You got to, obviously you're in your own little bubble, aren't you? You got to have a little bit of leeway, that sort of stuff. You can't be, obviously you're just populating your own ideas, and there's no debate then. Where's the debate in that? There's no point. It's no fun. Fair days pay for fair days work. I haven't got a problem with the capitalist system as long as it's done fairly. Unfortunately, it's not. If it's the system we're living in, it'd be very difficult to change it. Almost impossible. There's just so many types. The only way you can get a proper socialist or proper Marxism, proper socialist system in any country is first it's got to be complete collapse. Donald Trump might be doing that. They say he might be going over Marx. He might be a Marxist at heart. No, but you're not. When you've got an economy that's sort of like doing that all on, it's like it's never going to go over to socialism. It's not going to happen. You go back into the 1930s, can't you? Great Depression. Things changed because it had to. Even the rich people understood something had to change. Because basically they were not getting their money anymore. People, these are landowners, owned farmland, for instance, or rented property out. Their tenants couldn't afford to pay. Now, if you go back to my ancestry, we got Robert Kett, 1549, Kett's Rebellion. And he held Norwich City, within the walls, Norwich City, for 30 odd days until the Crown got the German mercenaries in there and got them all out. Anyway, he held it for 30 odd days. And the reason why was because a boundary tax was being applied to the people of the country. He knew that if the Crown took any more money from his tenants, little tenant farmers, that they wouldn't be able to pay their rents. If they can't pay their rents, it costs him money. So he's a bit of a tyrant himself. I mean, he wasn't innocent in all this. He had his reasons. So he told them all to rip down your boundaries. Rip down your boundaries. Get rid of your boundaries. So they did. They came to get their taxes, collect their taxes. Well, there's no boundaries. What boundaries? Because it worked out on the boundaries. There's no boundaries anymore. So and then it all kicked off, and what have you, and they got the pitchforks out and defended Norwich within the walls of Norwich. And most of the walls are all gone now. There's a few little remnants of them. But yeah, it's they were the days. 1549, Kett's Rebellion. Now Robert Kett, he hid in Kett's Oak, which was a hollow oak tree. It still exists today, but it's full of concrete now in Wyndham Way. And anyway, they found him in the end, and they decided that they were hung, drawn, and made an example of them, basically. So yeah. That could be my land. I'm a direct descendant. Illegals don't get anything from the government. Nope. It's the same in the United Kingdom, Even people with visas, they have to pay for the healthcare. They have to pay a contribution to the healthcare, which went up recently to quite over £1,000 now a year for their healthcare. Now, my son-in-law is from Nigeria, and he came over to the United Kingdom to his education, what have you. He worked in the NHS to start with, and he'd done his education and stuff and learned all this computer type stuff, programming and that. He's done really well now. And he's still on a visa, he's started the process of getting his citizenship, what have you. But it takes a long time, and it's really, really hard. The stuff most Brits wouldn't know. You really got to do your education on it. It's very, very difficult. Anyway, he's got a visa, to work in the United Kingdom, and he has to pay for his health. And also, if he loses his job, he doesn't get any help. He doesn't get paid social. There's no dole money for him. No. If you're on a visa, you get no dole. And also you have to pay quite a bit of money every year towards your healthcare. So you're paying an insurance policy, really. And don't forget, if you're a couple coming over, that's going to be for both of you, each. So you both have individual visas. Cheers, Joel, for that. For deleting naughty people. To be in Portugal, you have to pay taxes, including contributions to the health system. Yeah, he obviously has to pay taxes because he's working. He's got a company now as well, so he's doing quite well with that. Red just states are already the poorest in the US America. Well, they're Texas, for instance, where Elon Musk wants all his court cases to go because they're favourable towards Elon Musk. All these places are just. Yeah, obviously you've got the rich areas, haven't you? And all these places have got rich areas. It's like anywhere in it. But, you've got these people, they're literally just... Do I support abortion? Yes, of course I do. Sorry. I'm sorry if you don't, but Roe versus Wade, I think, was an absolute disaster for women in the United States. Could you imagine... I'm not a woman, all right, just so you know. Not anymore. Yeah, what do you reckon? Do a good job? Anyway, can you imagine being a woman who's been raped and you have to give birth to a child? That constant memory, Can you imagine what's going on in your head? Do I keep it? Do I get rid of it? I mean, as in, like, for instance, adoption or whatever, you know. That baby, it's no fault of the child, but that baby is just going to be a constant reminder. I just think that's immoral. And then also, the health reasons as well in some cases. People are dying on the, you know, on the table, yeah, during childbirth because the surgeons or the delivery people, mistress, midwife, whatever, don't want to be held responsible. And you end up losing both of them. It's ludicrous. All these scenarios, it's just wrong. So yes, I do believe in abortion for the right reasons, obviously, you know, and it's the woman's right, to be fair. Portuguese living in Wales, blimey. How you find it in Wales? It's a bit colder in Portugal, and more humid as well. Yeah. Have you walked up Snowdon yet? Jay Harrison says the truth is ugly, and we have a really bad person coming from. Very bad person coming from our country. Sorry, truth is ugly, and we have a really bad person coming from our country. So I don't understand. Michael McFall says yes, Stephen, but Stephen's dead. Red states are already they paused in America. Oh yes, Stephen, but the red states are far more affordable. Good point. It's not how much you make, but what you can. Oh yeah, how much you can keep of it and what you can do with it. But that's going down to taxation as well, isn't it? And also how much money you're earning. Yeah, end of the day, your minimum wage is quite poor. In the United States, it's very low. Way too low. I haven't gone up in 15 years. I was looking at this. I was researching to do my live stream today about that, and I think, crikey, 15 years. I thought that's nuts. How can that be right? You know. So the Democrats didn't increase it, nor the Republicans. That's capitalism for you. Because capitalists quite often they employ people as well. It's not just about property, is it? I'm not having the wee in the bottle, just so you know. Poor bear. Oh dear. It's exactly like, you know. Oh my God, what a mess I made of that. Might leave that for a bit. You're going to be lollipop sticks on the top. Oh dear. Do I support? Yeah, I've said that already. We have got a massive problem. I mean, let's be fair. You know, we've caused so many problems around the world, and we've got. You consider what's going on regarding immigration is an issue. People shouldn't feel a need to flee their country. They come to the United Kingdom or to the United States for a better life. They shouldn't need to. But what we've got capitalist systems that suck up. You look at Elon Musk. You think what he's doing at the moment regarding all these Starlinks. Did Elon Musk get permission to fly all these Starlink satellites above all these other nations? No. It was just the FCC said you could do it in the United States. How is that right? It seems there's something miss here. If you listen to people like, oh crikey, who's that footballer? He's gone a right old tin foil hat geezer. Oh, what's his name? He talks some sense, but he's just got off. He's just talks a lot of crap as well. It's oh crikey, I think he's a footballer and he's gone absolutely loony. Take care, Chris Evans. Be good, my friend. Be good. Have a lovely Sunday. Oh, crikey. Anyone can tell me, who is the footballer who has a tinfoil hat? Goes on about 5G masts and stuff like that. And Starlings. No, it's not Starlings. I mean Starlink. Did I say Starlings? Oh, crikey. David Icke. That's it. David Icke. That's it. Thanks for that, Chris Evans. Oh, no, for Dr. Davies, sorry. Yeah, David Icke. I was listening to a podcast with him. I just for comedy reasons. I have to admit, it's the first time I've really probably listened to him. And some things you say, yeah, I get that. That makes perfect sense. But it's like the lies and misinformation has been hidden by the truth. So you grab people with the truth, and it kind of masks the madness. And if you're a little bit lack of thinking, you get sucked into it all. He was going on. David Icke was going on about the 5G regarding Elon Musk's Neuralink. He's no fan of Elon Musk, so I respect him for that. And Starlink, and that's all about to control us by all the satellites. You see, that's why we're having all these satellites everywhere. He wants to control everybody with this Neuralink. And this Neuralink, he's saying now that you have to put it in through the artery instead of, you won't have to cut a hole in your brain, in your skull. I wouldn't be surprised that's Elon Musk's goal, but I don't mean to say that's what's going to happen. Elon Musk seems to think that you can go and live on Mars or a colony on Mars. All your supplies, everything you're going to need from Mars is going to have to travel to Mars. What? How long is that going to take? I fancy a pack of crisps. I ain't got another send form. Oh, shit. When's that going to be? Well, 3 years' time. Okay. It's just nuts. It's just toxic. Your eyeballs will pop out your head. I think sometimes the other people try to warn about this. It's the Cassandra story. Yeah. One person is Bernie Sanders. He warned about it about 10, 12 years ago. He was asked a question. He's, see these people, they've got Noam Chomsky. Yeah, they're all socialists. Okay, Noam Chomsky, even like say Richard Wolff and Bernie Sanders. They've been telling us about this stuff for donkey's years, warning us about this stuff for donkey's years. They've seen it happen. They've seen the progression because they've understood it. It's happened before. Go back to the Great Depression again. We haven't been there, but it's not our memories, is it? It's part of the problem. When people don't read or do history or whatever, or take notes of mistakes that have been made in the past, or stuff that's happened in the past, but then those in the present don't really understand. Or it's like war, isn't it? My generation, even my wife's generation, we ain't really witnessed any war. Don't mean to say it ain't going to happen. Don't mean to say there isn't going to be a World War III. Probably be all fought with drones and stuff, and drone swarms and what have you. But the fact of the matter is, never say never, because it could happen. Unbearable. What's unbearable? There are dozens of them. I live in in Bernie's district. I have them on. Ah, that's cool. How do you feel about Bernie? I like Bernie. Yes, number 3 says that our mass media is largely to blame, plus poor education. I don't think it's even just education. I think it's that ability to be able to absorb information and actually read between the lines. I don't think... Because obviously there's a curriculum involved regarding education. It doesn't mean necessarily it's going to be worldviews and stuff. It might teach you how to absorb information. But for instance, when I was at school, what I learned in school was placed upon me effectively. It was like anyone else, until you leave school and go into either into secondary education or what have you, or whatever, or into the workplace. But when I went to university and done my degree, the stuff I learned then was not the same as the stuff I learned then. It's almost like you have to evolve in a way of learning that you actually almost like teaching yourself. You're gathering that information yourself. You're finding out about stuff yourself. And you have to weigh up the odds yourself. You have a point of view. Because that's all the whole point of it. It's about developing the mind and, semiotics, psychonics, and all that sort of stuff, And it's be able to evolve into a more, I suppose, broad-minded person, more lateral thinking, instead of being blinkered. And that's part of the problem is, I think, really, what you're saying about education, see what's going on in the United States, and lots of people, they say now, it's, what was it now? 20% of the people in the United States only get to 10th or 11th grade education in the United States. It's not just the United States, the United Kingdom as well. There's plenty of very uneducated people in the United Kingdom, same here in the EU and any other country in the world. Some people just get left behind. Some people they find learning very difficult. Maybe they're dyslexic, for instance. My son had Eileen syndrome, so he had to have special glasses with green shades in them. Otherwise, the text wouldn't focus properly. It all seems really strange, but some people find learning very difficult. And look, until I got into secondary school, I really struggled at school. I found it really, really hard. Back then I was always about making stuff. All I was interested in is making stuff or making airplanes, and flying planes and stuff like that. That's all I was really interested in. And all that stuff on the blackboard, it just literally just went right all mess my head, and I just went off into Ku Klux Klan. What's that phrase? Anyway, I went off in some imaginary place, and then the teacher yells up, "That's it!" And I just done the title. And when the parents went to the parents' evening, and where's Marx's work? Don't worry about Marcus. Come over here. And I'd made this lighthouse, all right, with a little switch with paper clips and stuff like that, and had a clear egg carton on the top and stuff. It was a working lighthouse. I was only in primary school. It was dismissed as though that was that. Okay, that might have been really cool. Okay, I was obviously going to be somebody working my hands, but which I do, and I still do. But the fact of the matter is, you still need a broad education. That's almost like I was dismissed. That's what I'm going to be doing now. I was left behind. Now, okay, I really, really caught up in secondary school. And, when I get my mindset on something, I really work hard at it. And, I did really, really well at school, luckily. And then I went to university, luckily. So, but you've got to you've got to want it as well. And you've got to have support. You've got to have support. And all of my parents were good people, generally, apart from my dad, like Nigel Farage. Relatively good people. My mum was wonderful, all right. They were quite simple people in that way. Didn't really look at the nuances of stuff, all these things you need to do to be able to get on in life. And obviously decent English. My English isn't great, but it's something you just have to do. You have to progress somehow, and you take it upon yourself to better yourself. And like I say, I went to university, so that really, really helped. It helped to change my whole mindset and stuff, And then you start becoming a little bit of a sponge. These days, I find it a little bit harder because I've got fibromyalgia, which really bugs my head up sometimes. So, brain fog and stuff. You might notice when sometimes I can't find the word, or like when I was like, what the name of that person is, I know it, I just can't say it. I just can't get it out of my head. It happens so much these days. But hey, there you go. What UK party do you support the most? Okay, currently none of them. I would say I'm a greenie, but I'm not keen on this Green Party, to be honest. I like Caroline Lucas. I think she was brilliant, but she's not their name. But I'm not that. I think we need a balance. We need a balance. If I was going to vote, which I did try, they didn't send us the voting papers in time, even though I done everything in time. I'd have voted Labour, not because I wanted to, but because it was a tactical vote, because of the area that I was from, Broadland, you see, and the Green Party who've done nothing, it would just be a wasted vote. That means just another vote for the Tories. So I voted. Tried to vote Labour, but we didn't get our voting papers anyway. We did postal vote, you see, even though we'd done everything in time. When they told us to, and they sent them out too late. Nobody got them in this area. If you could vote none above, more would vote. If you could vote none above, do better, more would vote. Sorry. Oh, what do you mean for other parties, like for instance the Green Party, what have you? But I'm not. We've got Green parties in the world that are actually in power, and they're doing a relatively good job. I don't necessarily believe that the Green Party in the United Kingdom would do a particularly good job. I just don't. I just don't. I want to see a lot more green investment. That's what I want to see. And I think we're buggered ready anyway, to be honest. There's not a world view on this that has a common consensus regarding climate crisis. I just don't see enough being done by any country. And we're happy to blame China, blah, blah, blah. They've got the most emissions. Yes, they have. Of course they have. Because they're making stuff that we keep buying. The hypocrisy. We're such hypocrites. We all are. I'm sitting there in front of all Chinese shit in front of me, and everything's made in the PRC. I just bought a new light up there, That's what the PRC, It's a good light, but everything's made in blinking China. Can't get away from it. Even packaging for all your foodstuffs and stuff made in China. It's nuts. Can you hear my dog snoring? Susan Witt says, hello. What did Ginger say? Gingers. I had my annual car inspection, and the guy said my car has a youth anti-theft device. It's a stick shift. Oh, you got a stick shift, haven't you? Well, I literally my old motor car, my old Nissan X-Trail, literally passed its CT. It's like the MOT in the UK on Friday last week. Last week or this week? Friday last week? No, Tuesday this week. Just passed its CT. So it's a 2006 thing. It's 2006. This is X-Trail. So I'm not going to be changing that anytime soon because it still goes. I don't care as long as we don't go anywhere in the car hardly. We have we live in this lovely house and lovely place, and we don't need to go very far. Go to the shop occasionally. We'll take the dogs for a walk somewhere else if we're going to do something different. And that's it. It's not don't do enough miles to warrant changing it. And environmentally, it'll be worse for me to change it. Although I do want to get me and Mrs. would look getting electric bikes in the new year. Did you? I want a cargo bike and some onions and a berry. I ain't got a berry. I've got all these flipping hats. I've got so many blooming hats, right? I must have 20, 30 old hats, right? And I ain't got a berry. I live in France, and the one hat I ain't got is a berry. How stupid is that? Oh dear. Teachers are quitting because of pay, yeah. Pay and conditions. Conditions are the biggest problem. And also, some of these pupils are flipping. Primary schools are okay, but secondary schools, some of these kids are awful. Caroline, who's was working in schools in Sallows and Norfolk, and you could see it happen. You could see the progression, the change, and the attitudes in children, and it's not good. It's not good. It's the things, if you can't control the children, you can't teach them. And one child who's disruptive in that class disrupts the education for all of them. It's difficult, and they can't do nothing about it. They're not allowed to. So there we go. Rubber Gopher says, response to Michael. Michael said, Michael Pfeffel. Tories were all the news articles about it. What have I missed? The first time I voted, I felt like, why bother? Because the hunting laws came about and had two choices, and both didn't benefit me. It was more like, which way you want us to screw you over. It's all about voting for the least worst. What's time? Second. The least worst. That's what it is. That's pretty much what people had to do. But nobody wanted the Tories back in, so they're going with Labour. Labour's not as bad as the right-wing press tried to make it out that they are. They really aren't. They're doing what they think is right to improve the lot of the mass of people. That's what I think. That's what I can see. Because they're going on about immigration, what have you, and the right wing hate all the immigrants coming there with their little boats, what have you, and obviously what's going on in the United States as well. We've got Mexico, Tino's, and that island. They said that was like a floating pile of rubbish. But in the United Kingdom, we've got, obviously the immigrants coming over via the boats. Since Labour's been in power, they've actually sent back to their home countries people who basically failed their immigration process. 10,000 since Labour's been sent back. So you could argue they're economic migrants or whatever they might have been. They failed their asylum process, their asylum system. They failed, so they got sent back. 10,000. Now, if the Tories managed to send anything like that back, it had been all over the press. It had been everywhere. But because Labour done it, you don't speak, there you speak their name, and it's frustrating. It's frustrating because the media is dishonest. It's weighed heavily towards capitalism, and you speak anything other than capitalism, well, then quite frankly, you are either a Marxist, communist, or whatever. I don't understand why that is such a bad thing, being a Marxist, to be honest. If anyone's read anything, I've only read brief stuff about Karl Marx and, to be fair, and Friedrich Engels. Maybe I should. But on the whole, it seems to make sense to me. Socialism makes sense. It's about everyone looking after each other and having a system that looks after the people, and how the other systems, regarding the business and stuff like that, everyone works together. And yes, I pay more taxes here than I ever did in the UK. I just do. It's quite expensive. Tax there is quite high. But I don't mind. Why is that? Because we've got good bloody roads, for a start. We've got a really good social network here. We've got fantastic healthcare. I mean, I can't fault. You get niggly problems, but on the whole, it's brilliant. I could get a dentist, and I've literally just been last week. I had my stitches out this Wednesday. So I got my stitches are gone, so that's good. I keep playing with my tongue. I had my wisdom tooth out last week, you see. I mean, they had to cut it out. It feels weird. Anyway, so we can get a dentist if we need to within reasonable length of time, and everything's quick. Healthcare's quick. What have I got to complain about? Yeah, I pay a bit more money for it, but I'm getting something for it. If you're in the United States, you don't have a national. I know you got the Medicap and Medicare and what have you, but on the that's limited. Anything that's available within the healthcare system, like in the United Kingdom, the NHS is available to most people. It just is. So anyway, I'm getting close to signing off very soon. Done 2 hours, 12 minutes. So anyway, let's go back down into the chat. Free speech is dead in the UK. No, it's not. That's bollocks. You listen to Elon Musk. That's not true. It really is not dead in the UK. That's absolute rubbish. It's just the right wing finding something to fucking moan about. Oh, I swore. Oh, do apologise. I like duck. I like duck too. Duck confit. Oh, lovely. So yeah, don't listen to Elon Musk. He's talking other rubbish. That man is a flipping lunatic. He's high on the ketamine. All dark meat. We're eating the chickens here. Yes. We're not eating the cats. We're not eating the dogs. And we certainly aren't eating the babies. We're not flesh-eating vampires. So I think you got a bit mistaken on there, because vampires suck with blood. They do, of the babies, of anybody, in fact. Anyway. Now, Roxanne, that was hilarious. These people. They walk amongst us, Oh, dear. We used to have asylums, What happened to them? Oh. How long do you wait to be seen in the... Oh, crikey. I'm not the best person to ask for that one. I had carpal tunnel surgery here in France. It took 6 months for both hands to be done, one after the other, including the first tests and stuff. We've all done within 6 months. In the United Kingdom, I was already waiting 5 years. 5 years. I was already waiting. And then they start sending the blooming appointments to the wrong house because we'd moved. Even though I've already said, every time I went up there, that's the tech. The computer systems in the NHS are chronic. The amount of times we went up there to change our details, our postal address at the NHS because they keep sending it to the wrong place, I still didn't get it right. It was ridiculous. Oh, Margarita Canal. Nice. A nice batty. What with babies in it? Or cats and dogs? We have it. So, Ethan Newton says we have it done on the spot within 2 weeks in most cases. Well, it's just how long it took us. I saw the specialist who did the test, begun like the electric test, and then I made an appointment. Someone was down to me, made an appointment with the specialist. So I went to see the specialist who ended up being the person doing the operation. He made the appointment, took the big book out, made the appointment in it there and then, and the second appointment. But there's no more than 6 months for both. I had one hand had to heal before we did the next one. We hadn't both done at the same time. The first hand was done within 2 months, 3 months, 2 months. So it's still pretty bloody quick. It sounds like quick in the UK. UK is terrible. You know, it's not because the NHS isn't any good. It's just the fact that they are so stretched. They are, well, good people working under very, very bad conditions. You know, the hours they do. For a start, here in France, we have, I can't remember what they call it now in French. Ooh. Anyway, they're only allowed to work a certain amount of hours, 35 hours a week. If you're self-employed and stuff like that, it's different. You can work as many hours as you like. But if you're employed, you only work that many hours a week. You can't be abused by your employer. You've got people in the UK and the NHS doing 70 hours. How is that a good idea? You've got people working on people who are tired, knackered, and abused. That's not a great idea, is it? So I'm very happy, to be fair. I'm happy to live here in France. It's a lovely place to live anyway, and I've got good friends here, and we pay our taxes here and that anyway. So eggs, tomato, and cheese, says Billy Kisher. Yum yum. Oh, the price of eggs very expensive, It was. Yes, one angry pagan says, responding to Ethan Newton, it wasn't like this before the Tories broke. We had 14 years of destruction of the NHS by the Tories, which some would argue is they wanted to privatise it, which you'd have to break it first, and that's what they were doing. They were breaking it. But Labour doesn't really want to do much different regarding using the private sector, which I feel is a mistake, because what the private sector ends up doing, they end up taking more workers, more doctors, more nurses away from the National Health Service to work in the private sector. And then when it's in an even worse situation, it's a spiral. The private healthcare doesn't train in the United Kingdom doesn't train doctors and nurses. The NHS does, and then they leave the NHS and work for private health. Last time I went to the hospital with full blood works, X-ray, and other exams, I paid €19 and left the building with all my exams and did not pay a cent. You said you paid €19. Yeah, see the bit of what we have in France, but probably same in Portugal. We have a lot of little green card. It's like a little card, you picture on, what have you, and that's your health card. Your card for down. And that allows that you take it to your doctors, you take it to the pharmacy, you take it to the hospital. They put in a little machine. Fine, done. And everything what that cost, whether it be at the hospital, whether it be at the pharmacy, whether it be at the doctors, gets put onto your account. So you get your account. You can log into your account, your Amity account. You can log into it and you can see everything, what everything's cost. And it's surprisingly little in France. I was my operation on both hands was under €1,000 on both hands. At the time, I'd have probably paid for it, I pay my taxes, my healthcare, fair point. Yep. But apparently it's really bad to do so, see. If the United States goes over to any kind of national health service, like you've got in the United Kingdom, or like we've got here in France, that's communism. I'll lead to communism. First be socialism, then we'll go good communism. We'll be communists. It's nuts. You can't have a functioning economy unless you've got a healthy population. It's not possible. A lot of those people in the United States are complaining about, and in the other places as well, complaining about, the price of a box of eggs, or I need to get I want to get a better job and stuff. Now these people, they're unemployable. No wonder they haven't got a good job. They're unemployable. They had regarding any education system that's, they've been left behind somewhat. Or they live in rural areas. Maybe they skipped school too many times. Or they've got or had an accident at work, and effectively they can't work properly now because they've got, they haven't been looked after properly, or they couldn't afford to be. An accident at work, or whatever. Because you haven't got an NHS. You've got a health service, maybe that you haven't got enough cover. Can't fix your leg, we're going to have to chop it off. You haven't got the cover. Oh, dear. Good roads, bridges, and infrastructure. Communism, yeah. That does make you wonder, doesn't it? The infrastructure in the United States is falling apart. It is literally falling apart. Let's be fair, actually, some countries in the EU have got massive problems with infrastructure. Italy's infrastructure is crumbling. Their bridges collapse, what have you. And when I've been across that border from France into Italy, oh my God, it's like going to a different place. Well, it is a different place, but it's a different world. You're coming from France, all the concrete is all sort of like pristine and what have you, and no concrete cancer and stuff like that, and the roads are all decent. As soon as I went on a motorbike going straight over into Italy, oh my God, you got flipping crash barriers or bars coming out the side of it. You've got bits of iron rebar coming out of the roads and shit like that. It's horrendous. It's quite wide, potholes everywhere. And the state of the concrete, probably because of the mafias, it was, regarding the money they're getting from the EU and what have you. Well, it wasn't EU back then, but anyway, the big old monetary fund that was going on regarding rebuilding the countries post-war. The mafia's stealing us the money. That's supposed to be, so less cement was put in the concrete. It's crumbly. It's horrendous. People who pay for their healthcare insurance suddenly find out that their insurance doesn't cover their ailment yet. Including those who've got work-related or work-attached. What do you call it if it's been provided through your workplace? Well, it's yours time. Oh, I'm going to have to go. Be somewhere that I have. So I'd like to thank everybody who's joined us today, and thank you much for the super chats and what have you. And yes, China controls the global market. China is an empire. It's pretty much one of the last empires. UK hasn't got an empire anymore. And the United States, that's also taken a massive downturn. So, no, thank you. Thank you very much for joining us. I really appreciate it. And thank you for the super chats and supporting the channel. But please hit the old like button and all that jazz. And I'd like to say a big hug and a thank you to all the spanners. The spanners in the works that they are. Helping to keep the stream and the chat, not the stream, but keeping the chat a clean place, where we don't have crazy people like Mad Monk has just had to delete a message from Batman. We do get quite a few trolls occasionally, but on the whole, I'm happy for everybody who joins. Just contribute. You've got a point of view, it's no problem. We'll let's have a banter. Anyway, but for now, thank you very much for joining us. You take care, won't you? And have a lovely Sunday.